Hey, everybody, this is Lorraine,
And this is Jennifer.
and this is another Friday Small Biz Chat. And we're going to pick up a little bit where we left off last week because we were talking about branding and what makes you different. But I really want to dive into this very specific niche of looking at your business compared to your competitors.
Yeah, I think the question that I often hear in the statements, can we just copy what the competitors are doing? And yeah, and I get kind of this, well, you can, but
Yeah, that's the easy way. Well, everybody does it. It must be working. But you're not everybody.
yeah,
You have
you don't want to be everybody.
you don't want to be everybody. You have specific goals, and you have to give, and particularly when you're in a commodity business, you have to give people a reason to buy from you.
Yeah.
It's easier when you're a coach or a consultant and you just lean back and go, my experience. You're hiring me for what I know.
Right.
But when you're a flooring contractor or an HVAC contractor
Yeah.
or a dentist,
Yeah.
it's harder to just lean on, well, I've got all this education and I have this training, because you know what? Everybody in your field has gone through the same courses.
Yeah. Or we do free estimates, or it's like, oh, great. Like, so does everybody else. That's not a differentiator. That's not why people choose you. I think I hear it a lot with plumbers that they want to copy this on time, like, and well, so I mean,
Mhm.
it's not really a differentiator on who you are. So we work with a heating and air contractor, and what's really different about them is they're not a huge, large, they're not trying to sell the, get a free AC unit with purchase of, they're not trying to do the gimmick type marketing, because at the end of the day, you're paying for that AC. Whether or not you know it or not, something else went up, so they pay for that, and they don't have like gimmicks. They just do good work.
Yeah. And in those kind of businesses, it is the add-on services. It is the little extras that you do. Because I mean, like you, I spent a lot of time working with home contractors, HVAC, and it is we'll come back in 6 months after the install, check everything is making working. We're so confident, you know, we'll do the first maintenance visit at a different price.
Guarantees.
Guarantees. But it's also we don't just install it and run. We know that to keep your system running, and here's how we do that. And for a lot of these guys, service business is their bread and butter.
Yeah.
So what do you put in your service contract? How do you use that to help your customers get to know your team?
Yeah. And with the experience is the other thing I would think about, the experience of service. Like, do you come in there and try to sell somebody, or those are all branding type elements that if you don't understand that or know what's going on, either your brand is pulling you or you're pulling your brand.
The other thing that I think is really important, and particularly when you're trying to position yourself, that everybody understand clearly what the mission is. And I'll give you an example, and we're going to be staying in HVAC for a minute. I had a contractor who asked his team what they thought the most important thing was when they went out on a service call. And they came back with, get in, get it fixed, get the hell out.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem was he started looking at what's called callbacks. And that's when you don't fix it right the first time and you got to go back and fix it the second for free.
Yeah.
He started talking to his team and he said, you know what this costs us?
Mm-hmm.
So let's change our attitude and let's go with this get it right the first time approach.
Yeah.
Yes, it'll take 15 minutes more, but it will save us 2 hours of free work down the road.
Yeah. Yeah.
As soon as he started talking about that and getting his processes cleaned up inside,
Hmm.
he could then use that as the differentiator, because we've all been there. You had a service contractor come in and it's a nightmare because they come back and they come back
Yeah.
and come back. And so that becomes, but the point there is you got to have the systems to support the brand promise you're making.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's kind of so for us, we don't do long-term contracts. We're it's month to month, and you don't hear that too often when you come to marketing agencies because they're trying to lock you in for 6 months, 1 year, what have you. And to me, I'm like, well, if I'm not doing a good job, then fire me. If I'm not providing value, and it's not exactly a guarantee, but I'm taking the risk just as much as you. If I don't bring that value, then fire me.
Yeah, I used to do a 3-month contract, and the reason is that you don't see results in a month,
Yeah.
and there's just too much setup in that first month.
Yeah.
So you really, but then after month 3, I was totally like you. If you're not happy, if this isn't working, I'm not going to nail you down for a year. You can come and go as you need. And I think that works really well for a lot of customers. It gives them the confidence that they can try you out, that they can see, is it a fit? Is this really where I want to be?
Yeah.
And that applies to a lot of businesses.
When I think about this, like just copying your competitors, it's not going to keep you in business, especially in situations where maybe business is not as good and got to survive. And if you're just like everybody else, then you're not going to stand out and you're going to have a lot less work. So, I mean, there's definitely ups and downs where business is good and business is not great.
But having a clear idea of who you are, what you're doing, and if you missed last week's conversation, you really want to go back and look at how ChatGPT can help you clarify some of that so that you're attracting the right people, so that you're making unique promises that are relevant for you, that really kind of fit together.
Yeah.
Because that's, at the end of the day, it's not your, every offer has already been tried a million times.
Yeah.
You've got to do something that fits you.
Yeah. Well, and I think the other thing on the copying a competitor is, well, my competitors run TV ads. Should I run TV ads too? Maybe. But that doesn't mean that shouldn't be a reason why you do a certain type of marketing because your competitors are doing. That's not telling you whether or not it works. That's just telling you your competitors do it.
In the old days, pre-digital, you would we would benchmark our competitors, and unlike in a lot of small businesses in the industries I was in, it was pretty clear who my competitors were. I mean, I knew there were 5, and I would watch them, and I would look at their media buy, and I would look at what they were doing in magazines, and it gave me a good indication of what their approach was. It wasn't just that they were doing television ads. It was, what are they doing on television? Are they doing branding work? Are they doing product work? Are they doing promotion work? And then I would look at their print media buys the same way. And then I could be like, okay, they're using television to build brand awareness.
Yeah.
Can I build brand awareness using a less expensive alternative? Can I build brand awareness? Oh, they're using it to promote their next sale. That's going to really pop them for that sale. That's an interesting strategy. Am I going to do a sale like that?
Do I even want to do sales?
Any of those things, really, it's not just what they're doing, it's how they're using it, and how can you use it, or how can you use another vehicle that can help you do the same thing.
Yeah, yeah. It reminds me of working at Ron Mar. So I worked at Ron Mar, and there's clothes that were like Kohl's and JCPenney and Ron Mar. They all sold clothes, but Ron Mar didn't do sales.
Mm-mm.
Ron Mar was client based, at scale. It was still the same clothes for the most part, but it was just a different model. So you don't have to do sales.
No, because people came to them. It was higher quality. It was well designed, well manufactured. And like Nordstrom's, you had somebody who helped you put the pieces together. So you paid more because you walked out of there looking good.
Yep. Yeah.
Differentiation, absolutely. All right, guys, we are going to put a pin in it here. We want you to go out and look at some of your competitors and figure out how you beat them by being different.
All right. Take care.
Bye now.